Welcome, everybody, to the best betting show ever. We're here to make you guys money. We did it yesterday, nailed the parlay of the day. Another one coming up soon. We got a jam-packed show. How did the books do? Where's the sharp money going? Let's get some bets on every NHL game on the board. Same with baseball. And we're going to take a fairly deep dive into Friday night's NBA card. Charlotte, Orlando, Golden State, Phoenix. Art DeCesar with us. Let's start with you. How did the books do last night? Two unbelievable collapses. The Clippers, but I was on the over, so who cares? And the Seattle Mariners. I was on Seattle.
Epic losses. You're right, Prez. You'll be shocked to hear that we actually lost yesterday, and it happens every now and again. I know.
Tears.
I know. We're barely going to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we did have a losing day yesterday, but that's okay. We'll bounce back and we'll have a winning day today.
Please don't. Joe?
Just some epic craziness there last night in Major League Baseball. But how did you do in the two NBA games, though? Were you heavy on Philadelphia? Because again, Art, we talked about it on the show, and sure enough, that total started to get bought back there from 224.5 when we were doing the show. I think landed closer to 222.5 again before the tip.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we had talked about how it went from, 220.5, 221 all the way up, and they got bought back down. I had mentioned yesterday, and, it was something we had kind of talked about where both favorites took money. You saw the movement on both favorites. We were going to need, like, we did all right in the NBA yesterday. It's just baseball is what kind of killed us yesterday. So we did need one of those outright dogs to probably win or cover. And obviously Golden State did both of that in the NBA. So that was positive in the NBA. And, to be honest with you, it's good to keep the Warriors in, from a bookmaking standpoint, to keep the Warriors in, to keep Steph in, it's just good. It's better for business to have them over the Clippers.
Yeah, and Steph looked really good yesterday, made a bunch of clutch shots. Really the heart of a champion. Let's get into these two games.
He wasn't the old bastard either. Al Horford at 100 years old was dropping.
Yeah.
Draymond Green all of a sudden, the old yelling at the clouds. He's shutting down Kawhi in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was the old guys ruled the day there in that game. So kudos to them.
Yeah, Kawhi.
Yeah,
what a nice guy.
Yeah.
Let's get into some NBA sharp bets for today. Charlotte -3.5 hasn't moved. They're playing Orlando. The total in this game 218.5. There was 218s out there. 217.5. We get all this information from Odds Logic. Golden State and Phoenix. Phoenix -2.5, 3 out there, and the same total really 218.5. Art. What are the bets being made on this game? Where do you think the lines will end up? And do you particularly like anything?
Yeah, as far as these games go, because obviously the games go tomorrow, I think tomorrow we'll have a better understanding of kind of where the money has come in on the games. You mentioned, Prez, not really much has moved on these games. It's really been, all right, these lines were put up and they're there. The Hornet total went down like half a point for us from our opener, but, I expect the public to bet Golden State, especially off what they saw last night. They're going to look at Golden State again as a dog and say, give me the points, give me the money line, Steph's player prop points when we put those up later today or early tomorrow morning. They'll bet that over. So I feel like we'll get a lot of Golden State support from the public.
Art, do we have, I know Portland was opened up as a double-digit dog, right, after they won. What about, is Philadelphia? Do we have a number on Philadelphia?
12.5.
Oh, Christ.
12.5.
You know the beauty about Boston being minus 12.5. The Philadelphia fans were chanting for Boston.
Terrible.
They haven't beat Boston in the playoffs since, I don't think Art was born in the 80s. I don't know. Maybe he was.
Are we talking the Boston Strangler?
Yeah, that could very well. That's correct.
Andrew Toney?
Yeah, it was literally the last time Philly beat Boston in the playoffs was in the 80s.
Mm,
I love it.
terrible.
Yeah.
And I was born in
And
the
they won't
80s,
have
Chris.
Embiid, by the way. So good luck.
I was trying to be nice to you there. I know you were based on, visuals. I'm thinking the 30s.
Oh, damn. Oh.
I need a top hat and a monocle.
You do. Everyone needs a good monocle. Yep.
Do you think it'll topic change?
Oh boy.
Everything always makes a comeback. Bell bottoms, tapered pants, this,
Yeah.
that, and the other. Ascot, fedora, pocket watch. Let's forget that thing.
I agree.
Any one of those three things ever going to make a comeback?
I feel like the fedora always has a moment every now and again.
Yeah.
People trying to be Frank Sinatra, but yeah, I mean the pocket watch, no chance that comes back.
No.
Zero.
Well,
chance.
it kind of is back. It's called a phone.
Well,
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
It's a great point. Yep.
But I tell you, man, the way they dressed in the 30s, come on. They always looked so sharp.
I'm back.
My grandfather, both of your grandfathers, they had like 3 outfits in their entire wardrobe, and 2 of them was a suit, and the third was an undershirt.
Well, maybe the scarf makes a big comeback.
The ascot.
That big ascot.
You think the ascot will ever make a comeback?
No.
Yeah, if you're a fancy guy.
How many proms you going to in your life? Nobody's wearing an ascot anymore. Absolutely not. No.
Okay. Well, let's hear what you guys think. What is most likely to make a comeback? The ascot, the fedora, the pocket watch. What is another one how about just suits all the time?
I don't think
The
a
top
fedora
hat.
ever left. I really don't.
I know, but the fedora
Yeah.
was so big for a time period. Every single male wore a fedora. Like it was, or if you were in England, you wore the flat caps. Anyway,
I think a cane and a chalice might make a comeback here before it's all said and done. Yes.
Leather chaps, I think, are going to be big again. Okay, Art, NHL. We got a half a slate of games tonight.
Is tonight the last night?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God. Although I'm rolling in the NHL right now, and yesterday's Vegas play, the day before was Utah play. Any bets you're seeing in the NHL or baseball? And I know you want to talk about a series bet.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you all the sharp stuff for today. Let's start with the NHL. The Kings have seen money. No surprise there. Minus 125 on our opener now, up to almost 140. Blues as well. Blues flipped from pretty much, it was like a pick 'em, or maybe they were a slight dog. Now they're all the way up to minus 125. Utah, nothing to play for. MLB, the Sharps took the Rockies at the Astros as high as plus 165. They're now down to 152. They took the Rays, White Sox under 8.5. That's now 8, minus 120 to the over. And then they laid the Brewers. They keep laying the Brewers against your Blue Jays, minus 114 up to minus 128. So that's all the sharp stuff and kind of the things that have moved today. And the series I want to hit you on, Prez, is they bet it this morning. They took the Mammoth against the Knights, plus 160, plus 150, now down to plus 140 for us. If you lay the Knights, you're laying 160.
I don't like that bet, Art. Yeah, I don't. I tell you, I'm actually. I thought a lot about this last night, and I actually think Vegas and Ottawa are the two most value out there to make it all the way. So I am completely not with them on that bet. And I love that the Vegas Golden Knights had a bit of a rough season. And now under Torts, they've won 6 out of 7 or 7 out of 8.
7 out of 8, yeah.
Yeah, I feel I love that they had a rough go, even though they were going to win the division.
Strange.
And it wasn't a good year for them. I think they're primed for a run.
That's crazy too. I don't even have money yet, but they're really taking Utah. They're not even listed yet in the predictive markets yet. Well, not even there yet. Ottawa is, by the way. Ottawa you can get for about 35 cents.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm not with them on that
I
Utah
don't agree. I
bet
agree.
at all. Not even close.
Nope.
But let's move on. Parlay of the day, Art. I'm gonna give you a parlay bet. I'm gonna give you my favorite NHL play, and it's a client play, and it's got so much juice attached to it. It's like freshly squeezed. The Edmonton Oilers in regulation minus 190. Two reasons. One, they actually need a point. They do not want to be a wild card team, and they got the Kings and Utah on their neck. So Anaheim. So they need a point. They are going to win this game. And the second reason is, come on, man, Vancouver Canucks. I mean, are they even going to ice a team tonight?
Oof.
So yeah, Edmonton minus 190 in regulation. Client play. Art.
Yeah, those 60-minute plays have been great this last week. I agree with the move on the Blues, so I'm going to lay the 125 at the Blues. Utah's got nothing to play for.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe they'll sit a couple of guys, so give me the Blues.
I agree 100% too with that one. Joe?
I will go Major League Baseball, and there is just no way Seattle's losing again today. So I'll take Seattle against the Padres.
Well, they might lose one inning, say the ninth.
That's a good point. Yep.
Oh, yikes.
Good point.
Yeah. Art, anything quick to end with before we let you go?
No, obviously tomorrow I'll have some UFC stuff. There's some stuff that's I've been jotting down throughout the week, so we'll have some sharp UFC stuff, and then obviously we'll be able to dive more into these NBA series prices and all the playoff games, and same with the NHL. So we've got a lot to go over tomorrow.
Oh.
Brilliant. Art to Caesar, everyone. Lucky to have you. Thanks for doing this. Joe, we got a lot of shows still left. We got to take care of some business. I got a big 5% play up for Saturday. We got the predictive market segments and all of the rundowns. Plus, we'll dabble in the mailbag section. Let's get to it. Joe, I got one baseball play up tonight, 2% play. I got one NHL play up tonight, 2% play. You guys already have my NHL play. It's the Edmonton Oilers. Minus 190, extreme amount of juice, but I think the Oilers win 8 out of 10 in this spot. I think this should be minus 290. So value there. Love that bet. But I have a 5% play in the NBA tomorrow, Saturday, and this is an absolute must-bet play. Like I've told you guys, I started the NBA playoffs 93 and 57 in the last 3 years of NBA playoff betting, 93 wins, 57 losses. I've won my last two, both last night and the night before. I'm 2-0 in these playoffs in the NBA. This is literally my third 5% play of the entire NBA season, my third. So there's no cash grab here. I'm not trying to make sales. I'm literally putting out what I think are the best plays I can bet, and I hope you guys join me. This is a monster of a bet. It goes Saturday. So yeah, that's where I'm at, Joe. What do you got going, brother?
2 Major League Baseball games are up, and one weekend game 1 in the NBA playoffs. That too is also up. So all of that is available over at WagerTalk.com. Hop on board. Actually, one of these games early afternoon. So hop on over there and grab that play before it starts.
Perfect. Brilliant. Okay, let's get to it, brother. Predictive markets and then all of the rundowns. And also, guys, you can see Joe on Wager Talk today as well. He's doing a guest spot there. Okay, brother, I was wrong on yesterday's Bitcoin situation.
Crater.
Man, Bitcoin, and then it went back up. So Bitcoin is very interesting right now. It's just basically hovering around where it is. I'm looking at this chart here and I'm saying 74 and above is the way to go. We have momentum heading up. we just saw a drop to 73.5 roughly an hour and a half ago. So we have some upswing. I'm going to go with 74,000 and above. Yes, I know we're paying a fair amount of juice, but that's where I'm going today. What else you got, brother?
Well, here, I mean, you brought it up. Let's take a look at it earlier, as a matter of fact, because this is pretty interesting. These are your series winners here, there, Prez, and Canadians taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Your Ottawa team here. Now, you are all right with Ottawa. You still think they've got a shot? You think that's still realistic?
Why not?
I agree.
What? The Carolina Hurricanes, are they some kind of juggernaut team?
I agree.
I mean, who's their goaltending?
Yep.
Their defense has been sus all year.
Yep.
And every year they get into the playoffs and they can't find any goal scoring. And it's not like they're rolling out Connor McDavid. Yeah, Ottawa. And as far as Montreal goes, I think that's just as good a bet. Yeah, sure. Tampa Bay is a veteran team.
Right.
That's another word for saying old. And I mean, they are old.
Old.
Kucherov, old. Hedman, old. Vasilevsky, not only is he old, but he hasn't even been Vasilevsky in 3 years. Montreal has just got a lot of speed. And over a 7-game period,
why not?
Yeah, I like the Penguins there, 56%. I like the Penguins. Look, I think the Penguins have a shot at a run here. I'm not that high on the Penguins because of their goaltending situation, but man, they get the Flyers first up. Come on.
It's kind of interesting, but I mean, it's really kind of even money. I mean, minus 120, 125 on Pittsburgh in there. But again, the beauty about this is that, these numbers are going to adjust after game 1, after game 2, and I'm kind of with you. If Ottawa can get, if Ottawa can get themselves, let's say they lose game 1, but they can come back and win game 2. I think this could very well come down to what, 6? How many games are going to go in this series? Do you think for each of these, Prez?
7 for Montreal, Tampa.
Wow.
7 for Carolina, Ottawa.
Yep.
6 for Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
And is it safe to say what, the home teams win game 1, or do you think they can? Do you think that it could be an upset right off the bat?
I think Montreal could win game 1.
Oh, lock them in now then. Yep, absolutely. Lock them in now. I think, I think Ottawa is going to be interesting in game 1 there.
Yeah.
But Carolina is going to be tough at all. But you know what? Listen, I hope all the dogs lose the first game, Press. Let them all lose the first game. And then you can jump in on them at much better prices too if you want. But if you think Ottawa actually has a shot at pulling it off for 6 or 7, we're jumping in now, Prez, because those numbers will fluctuate after every game, and you'll likely, if you can get to a game 6 or 7 elimination game, there's profits to be had there, and you're not even out of the first round of the playoffs yet.
Yeah, we're on the same page on all of these. And tomorrow, in our NHL rundown, I'm going to go through every series, one at a time, and we can do that tomorrow. Also, Art to Caesar tomorrow will be taking apart all the Saturday and Sunday NBA games. So tomorrow is going to be a great show. Make sure to check it out. Let's keep moving, Joe. I know you've got a hard stop. You're on WagerTalk today shortly.
Yep.
NBA rundown. There are 2 games going today. Line moves have not happened. No, tomorrow. You want to go through those, or you want to just?
Yeah, I'll run a couple 3 or 2 because we'll have some for Saturday as well. But I mean, listen, if Phoenix can't win this game, and no disrespect to Golden State, but I mean, if Phoenix can't get this done now at home, it's tough to win back-to-back road games in this play-in tournament there. And the only problem is keep an eye on the matchup, because you got a Portland team they just lost to that, over 50%, we told you, of their shots came from behind the arc there, and 3 is more than 2. Well, nobody's going to shoot more threes in a game than what the Golden State Warriors are going to do. So if the Hawks can't figure out how to make life miserable from the outside, they were actually a top 10 perimeter defense this year. I'm kind of shocked what happened in that Portland spot. But listen, you got one of the best I ever do it in Steph Curry. But I do think advantage there to Booker and to Phoenix to get that one done. And then I don't know. I mean, watching Orlando play basketball might be the most painful thing I've had to endure in a very long time. That team is no Embiid. They had all day and night. They could have lived inside the paint and at the rim, and instead they settled for a million threes in which they hit 4, I think, for the entire game. Absolutely atrocious. I think the coaching is terrible. And I'm not buying it. I definitely think Charlotte has more than enough firepower to get that game done there. But having said that, I don't know that I'm hitting an under in either of those games. Either, Prez, I do think maybe the overs might be worth a look, but we'll keep an eye on them, and we'll do more about that tomorrow there, Prez.
Joe, last day of the NHL season, and a tough day to bet, really. St. Louis playing Utah tonight, and Art DeCesar gave out St. Louis in the parlay of the day, minus 125. I agree. I don't see Utah showing up to this game at all. They're locked and loaded. They already have their first round matchup. So, yeah, Utah ain't playing in this game. Take the Blues. I like Winnipeg. Now, I've been playing against – I played on Winnipeg for 2 months. I played against them the last 2-3 games because I felt like, their intensity was so high for the last 2 months. They didn't make it. They ended up dropping off. But they got San Jose on a back-to-back, and San Jose just doesn't care. And I think Winnipeg, in front of their fans, are going to get it done tonight. I actually think Winnipeg is the second best bet on the board. And you can get them at minus 155. And I'm playing Nashville. Let's play against the playoff teams here, Joe. Anaheim is still playing for something. So are the Kings. I don't think we get much out of either of those two teams tonight. Take Nashville. Edmonton also playing for something. I think they kill Vancouver. 5-1 score. Yesterday, I predicted a 5-1 score in the Vegas game. It was 4-1, so pretty close. I like Calgary against the Kings tonight, and I like Seattle against Colorado. So, yeah, all the non-playoff teams I'll take against the playoff teams. That's it for the rundown. What do you got for baseball?
Well, we got a lot of early afternoon games, Prez, there, but we'll start a little bit later here, and let's go with the White Sox taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. We got an opener for the White Sox and Leisure taking on Steven Matz. We are starting to see some under money hit the board. If you can grab the 8.5s, I would look to the under as well in a getaway game here. 210 is that first pitch. The Yankees, I'm going to break this game down on WagerTalk today, guys, so make sure you check that out. Then we get into the 3 o'clock time frame, and we're heading out to an early start in Sacramento with the Texas Rangers taking on the Athletics. Leiter taking on Jacob Lopez. And what a game again last night that we got to see. Got some runs last night in that game. Clients and I had a under in the first 5 at 5.5. And that ended up holding steady. We ended up getting that one done, but the full game went over. But I am not betting an over in a getaway game in Sacramento at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, which is what this game is going to start there at 12 o'clock Pacific time. And you've got double-digit winds blowing in. Leiter has been fantastic this year outside of that one start against the Dodgers, but who doesn't get roughed up by the Dodgers? I think it's a dead under here. Don't let Sacramento think it's an automatic over, because it's not. Also, the Rangers can't hit lefties. That's what Lopez is. I feel like this is going to be a very low-scoring environment here today with both teams looking to hop on a bus and get the hell out of Dodge. Colorado and Houston, 2 pitchers you've never heard of. I'm still taking an over in that one. And I already told you I'm on Seattle to bounce back against Walker Buehler and the Padres tonight, Press.
Joe, let's get to our mailbag section. And we really appreciate you guys commenting. Make sure to comment. We read them every single day. We go through a bunch of them real quick. Lucas Ravani, Prez, on your tennis argument about Sinner versus Alcaraz. You are not totally correct. Sinner just won 3 Masters 1000, the Sunshine Triple. That is one of the most difficult feats in sports. Nobody's even heard of it.
Exactly.
Joe, have you heard of the Sunshine Triple?
No.
I think that's when you have Betsy, Mary, and Melissa all in the sunshine.
That's correct. On a beach.
Yeah, Lucas, nobody's even heard of the Sunshine Triple. It ain't one of the hardest things in the world to achieve. With that said, I'm not totally correct on about anything. I mean, I'm mostly correct. I'm largely correct. I'm almost perfectly correct, but I'm not totally correct.
Well, I think we're correct in the fact that no Grand Slam will be in the hands of anybody except Alcaraz and Sinner for the foreseeable future.
Yes, but I appreciate you, Lucas, and I appreciate you putting that up. And yes, I am playing around. But with that said, nobody has heard of the Sunshine Triple.
Nope.
Nice call on Vegas, Prez. Thank you. Greetings, Chris. I've not seen your name before. I appreciate you. We have a lot of people waiting in that I was right and you were wrong about the over not being easy in a game that required overtime to get to the over. So I just wanted to point that out. And other than that, just a lot of people complimenting the show, which I'm so appreciative. I mean, it means the world when you guys compliment us. So, yeah, that's about it.
Yep.
Joe, really fun show today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Kick ass on Wager Talk today, brother.
We'll see you. That's it. Big day tomorrow, guys. We'll see you then.